Steve here with the 𝗟𝗓𝗢𝗏 the channel where we help cleaning business owners scale their businesses with systems, controls, tools, and resources. 4 tips to land more cleaning contracts. Well, in this short video, what I want to do is I just want to cover 4 tips that will help you get more cleaning contracts. So let's jump right into it. So number 1 is team sell. You always have to remember, whenever you're dealing with any prospects, that it's a team sell. And what I mean by that is that you want the prospect to interact with at least 2 or 3 of your team members. From doing this, what happens is that it really builds confidence with the prospect, knowing that you have a team that really knows how to take care of business. And it's just through that interaction is really going to prove that to them. So keep that in mind. Number 2, in-person presentations. Lately it just seems like there's an awful lot of people that just want you to email the presentation. They're only interested in a price. So that's why it's so important for us to do in-person presentations. Well, it gets us in front of the prospect, allows us to interact more with them, which is very important. We can ask more questions, and we can actually read their body language. From the conversations that we're having back and forth, we can see how they respond to that. And that kind of tells us which direction we might want to take the conversation. Now the other thing too is the reason that you want to do in-person presentations is it actually increases your winning of the business, from you being there. So that's why we want to do that. So whenever possible, always do in-person presentations. Number 3, you have to ask great questions. And I talk about this quite often. Throughout your entire sales process, you want to ask great questions to the prospect. You want to get that person to stop and think that, wow, nobody's ever asked me that question before. And that's actually happened to me, to where I've asked the person some very great questions, and they stopped and said, well, wow, Steve, nobody's ever asked me that. So it made them stop and think. That's the whole thing, is that you just don't want to be like every other cleaning company that's out there. So ask great questions. And here's one for you that you want to use is at the end of your presentation, ask this question. Is there anything keeping us from gaining your business? Ask the question and then just be silent. Don't say a word. Wait for an answer. Just wait. Have patience. Ask the question. Shut up. Be quiet. The one thing that happens is with many salespeople is that they'll ask a question and then they feel like they have to interject about the question. Don't do that. Just ask the question and be quiet. Again, is there anything keeping us from gaining your business? Number 4, follow-up. This is so important. It's just amazing to me how many salespeople don't follow up after they've had an interaction with a prospect. But it happens quite often. So it's important for you to have a follow-up plan. What I always suggest is that once we've had a contact with the person, let's say we met with them, we did a walkthrough, we gathered the information that we wanted, well, now let's set up a date and time to meet with them with a follow-up. Don't leave that meeting until you got the next meeting scheduled. So that's very important. Same thing is true now if you went and you met with the prospect and you presented your proposal. Well, what kind of a follow-up plan do you have after that? You definitely want to ask them how long or what period of time do they want to think about it, or how long is it going to be before they make a decision. And always ask that. And try to get it out of them. Then just let them know that you're going to follow up in a few days, to see if they made a decision. And one thing is that you always want to have a purpose when you do a follow-up. Either, if it's a phone call or an email, just have a purpose. And the purpose could be that, let's say we want to call them because there was a question that we wanted to ask that we'd forgot. So that's okay, then, let's do that. Same thing is true as if it's an email. You know, maybe there's a document you wanted to send them, you know, after you've done your presentation. But always have a purpose to your follow-up for each time that you follow up. So, like I say, this was going to be a short video. So, you know, if you follow some of these tips and implement them, you'll improve your chances of landing more contracts. There's no doubt about it. Something else that you want to do is that you can go to the 𝗟𝗓𝗡 and go ahead and download the Jumpstart Your Sales 5-week challenge. It's a great 5-week program. If you follow that, you are going to get some clients out of it. It really keeps you on task, and it keeps you constantly following up, checking in, and really closing more sales. So to do that, go to the 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗧.com, download the Jumpstart Your Sales 5-week challenge, and it'll be a good thing. You'll see some action happening. So hopefully you got something from this video, and if you did, go ahead and feel free to comment or share. And if you have not already, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure you turn on those bell notifications to get the latest updates of new videos that we create for creating a successful cleaning business. So thanks for checking in today. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.